What is going on, everybody? This is Football Exclusive, and welcome back to another college football prediction video. And today we're predicting the Kentucky Wildcats. Now, yesterday I know I said that I would probably upload 2 videos. Not sure if that's going to happen yet, but I sure will try. And I do have the recording set, but I need to edit the videos, and that's the part that takes the longest. But I will give it a shot, and we'll see how it goes. But today we're doing the Kentucky Wildcats. And if you want to check out my other college football predictions, check in the description. I'll put the link below. But anyway, Kentucky is pretty good. They have another returning quarterback, Terry Wilson, and Kavashie Smoke. He's a good running back. So Kentucky has a pretty good offense, and their schedule, looking at it, it looks like it's lined up good to have a great season for Kentucky. See, last year they were a run-heavy team. They had Lynn Bowden as their quarterback, and he was more of a runner. I think he played wide receiver at a point, so he wasn't a natural quarterback. But Kentucky has Terry Wilson back, and I think they could do pretty well looking at their schedule. You start off with East Michigan, I think is what it is. Eastern Michigan, I think you guys should win that game, no problem. So I think you guys start off 1-0, and then you go at Florida and the Swamp, and I think that's going to be a really challenging game. Kyle Trask, he had an outstanding season last year, taking it in the field for Felipe Franks. So that just came out of nowhere, and I think Kyle Trask is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the SEC. So I think Florida has a really good offense, and they also have a good defense as well. So I think Florida will give Kentucky some trouble. I think Florida will score some points. So I do think Kentucky will lose that game and take their first loss at week 2. And then Kent State, I think you guys should win that game. South Carolina, now if you've seen my South Carolina prediction video, I talked about how South Carolina has a great defense, especially the defensive line, and Ryan Olinsky's really good. So I think South Carolina can put up some points as well as stop Kentucky from getting points. But I do think Kentucky is the better team. I think Kentucky's offense will score points. So I do think Kentucky will win that game, actually. Close game, though. I think they win it at home, in which the home field advantage also gives Kentucky a better shot. But I can see this game going either way. This is a really close game, in my opinion. Then you go down the road at Auburn. Now, Auburn had lost quite a bit on defense, but you got a good quarterback down at Auburn, Alabama. I think Bo Nix, I see a lot of potential in him. I think Bo Nix will be really good, and I think Auburn will put up a lot of points in that game, and it's also on the road. So I think Kentucky will lose that game. I think Auburn will kind of pull away later in the game. I don't think it'll be super close, but you never know. It could be somewhat competitive. Then Eastern Illinois, I think you guys should win that game. Then Vanderbilt. Now Vanderbilt's always a team that struggles in the SEC. Vanderbilt really wasn't a good team last year. Vanderbilt's just not one of the great teams who can really compete with the SEC. So I do think Kentucky will win that game pretty easily. And Missouri's up next. They had Kelly Bryant. He got injured last year, which really hurt Missouri's season. And I do think Missouri will struggle even more. They lost more on defense and offense, Kelly Bryant being one of the guys. And it's on the road for Kentucky. And I think Missouri's going down. I think they're going to have to rebuild. So I do think Kentucky will win this game. And then you go down at Knoxville. Now, Tennessee's getting there. They're a good program. Yeah, they got to figure out the quarterback situation down in Tennessee. And so I think Kentucky will lose that game, actually. I think Tennessee's defense is really good. Very great defense, actually. Maybe top 10 in the country. I don't know about top 10, but I know they have a great defense. But I do think Tennessee's defense will hold Kentucky from scoring points. And Tennessee doesn't have a bad offense. They have a good O-line, one of the best O-line, I know, at least in the SEC. and they have a good running back, Tim Jordan and Eric Gray. So I think Tennessee will put up a lot of points by running the ball and also stopping Kentucky from scoring. So I think Tennessee will win that game. And then Mississippi State. Mississippi State's kind of struggling. I think they struggled a little bit last year. I think they barely made a bowl game. And I think Mississippi State will lose that game. I think Kentucky will win. So Georgia is up next. Now Georgia, they lost Jake Fromm and their big running back. I forgot his name, but I know he was huge. I can't remember it exactly right now, but I know who he is. But Georgia is pretty good. Even though they lost a lot, I think Georgia is always just going to be a great team. I think Kirby Smart, I think is the coach. Yeah, Kirby Smart is a great coach, and I think Georgia will be good constantly. Even though they lost a bunch, I think Georgia will win that game. Then at Louisville. Louisville has a great offense, and this is also on the road for Kentucky, which makes it even harder. I kept going back and forth on this game. When I was predicting Kentucky, I predicted them about a week ago, and I predicted all 11 games except one game, which is this game, because I kept going back and forth and I couldn't make up my mind. So I can see this going either way, honestly. I think Louisville is a great offense, and it's on the road for Kentucky, which makes it even harder. But at the end of the day, I think Kentucky's better, and I think Kentucky will win that game, but it's very close. I see it going either way. I think Kentucky will finish 8-4, which is not a bad record. I think Kentucky has the potential to do really well. Honestly, I can see them also beating Tennessee. Not what I predict, but if you beat Tennessee and do what I beat all the teams I listed, you should go 9-3. I don't really see you beating Auburn, Florida, or Georgia. Which one do I think you'll more than likely beat out of those three? Auburn. So that's all I have for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please check out the playlist of my predictions down below. And I'm happy to mention that we're about to hit 100 subs, only 5 subscribers away. So if you're not subscribed already and you enjoy the predictions, please subscribe to the channel. Get us to 100, and we can celebrate by doing something special. So I'll try to get Jane back eventually when we do the 100 subs special. And so I hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe and like this video if you didn't already. And I'll see you guys in the next video.